Planning a Disney vacation can be overwhelming, time-consuming, and expensive. But what if there was a better way to do it?
There absolutely is, and that's why we always call in an expert. Our friend and partner Ashley Dixon from Adventure Awaits by Ashley. She does all the research and work to make our trips easy and stress-free.
That's right. Thanks to Ashley, our time can be better spent choosing our favorite ears to match our outfits, or which lightning lanes, dining reservations, and enchanting extras we want, because she will book all of that for us.
And she saves us money because she can get deals on park tickets, resort hotel stays, and vacation plans that we can't even see ourselves. The best part? Her services are always free.
As a former cast member and annual pass holder at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, nobody knows the parks better than Ashley. So what are you waiting for?
To book your next adventure to Disney and beyond, find Ashley on social media at Adventure Awaits by Ashley, or send her an email at adventureawaitsbyashley@gmail.com.
And make sure you mention that the Wonderful Thing About Disney podcast sent you. We just found a whole new way to enjoy our trips to the Disney parks. Where in the Park is a signature theme park seek and find game. Each game features images showcasing unique and often overlooked details inside the parks. Players explore the park at their own pace, looking for each image. Play solo or team up with friends and family. This makes the perfect addition to a park day, whether it's your first visit or your 100th. What's even better is that it's not only for Disney. Where in the Park offers packs for theme and amusement parks across the country. Make sure to check out Where in the Park and all the different games they have to offer. Use our code WONDERFUL at checkout for 10% off your next purchase. Happy searching.
Hi, I'm Jake.
And I'm Ashley.
And this is the Wonderful Thing About Disney podcast.
Because Disney's a wonderful thing. Come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet, and fly with us as we discuss the parks, treats, and all things Disney, with new episodes every wonderful Wednesday.
What's up, Dingle Hoppers? Happy wonderful Wednesday. We're back. It is a great week. It's a great episode because we have a very special guest this week.
I'm so excited for this one. Actually, a little nervous too, but excited. So yeah, before we introduce our special guest, we want to preface this episode. So if you follow us on social media, you know we love our 1-star reviews and you love them as well.
Yeah, because they're ridiculous, and that's what makes it so great. And it highlights the various and wildly random opinions of all Disney guests around the world.
Yeah, and we got our 1-star reviews off of Google, TripAdvisor, Yelp. But it really got us thinking, what are the lowest rated things in Walt Disney World?
Yeah, and so we came up with this idea that we're lovingly calling Walt Disney World's worst rated.
Yes.
But in order to do that, we had to call in a special guest, nay, an expert. Yeah. And we have our friend Becky from Raising Mini-Me's is here with us. Becky, thank you for coming on.
I'm so excited. Who doesn't love really trashing those worst Disney experiences, right? This is going to be a blast. I'm ready for it.
Right. And I think the best part of all of this is at one point or another, I feel like we've all thought it.
Yeah.
Some of us are just a little more vocal and outspoken in our disdain
Sure.
for certain experiences, attractions, foods, whatever it might be. And that's what this episode is all about. But before we get into that, Becky, we would love for you to introduce yourself, kind of tell our listeners who you are, tell us about you and your platform.
Sure. So, hey everyone, I'm Becky, if we haven't met. I do Disney data in my ample free time in my life, which is a total joke because it's not my full-time job. And I have 2 kids. So what am I doing? Who knows? I'm doing the fun Disney stuff. That's what I'm doing. Yes. So I authored the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. That's a lovely 600-page textbook of all things Disney that comes out once a year, every August. It funds my trips to Disney, so I appreciate it. Yes. And then I run the Raising Mini-Me's Instagram page. The book comes out once a year. The 2027 edition is already at the printer, so not very timely. The Instagram page lets me be timely and get those posts out 4 days a week with the most up-to-date information. And then I work with TouringPlans, which is where we're getting most of the data for today. And they do a bunch of Disney data analytics as well, help people understand which wait times to believe and which ones not to. And so I do a
Ooh,
weekly post there called the Disney Data Dump that also comes out on these wonderful Wednesdays where people
yes.
can get all of the most up-to-date information about what's happening at Disney. So lots and lots and lots of different ways for me to spread the word with Disney data.
This is
I
amazing.
love that.
And we cannot wait to geek out with you because like this stuff fascinates me and I have so many questions, but we will get there. We'll get there.
Perfect. Hopefully I have answers. We'll find out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we love to ask each of our special guests, what is your Disney origin story? Where did your love of Disney come from?
Yeah. Grew up going to Disney. So I've always lived in St. Louis. I'm not an Orlando person or an LA person.
Okay.
I'm smack dab in the middle of the country, just about as far as you can get from any Disney parks if you're in the United States. My parents took me when I was about 1 year old to Disney World for the first time. And so
Oh,
that's, I guess, technically my origin story. But my mom really loves to tell the story of how I would tell every attraction bye bye. Like I just wanted out of there. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. So maybe I was the original 1 star review. I don't know. I could have started this trend
it was you.
Love that.
so many years ago. I was about to say how many years ago, and I won't. But then we went to Disney World like once every 3 years growing up. We were a little bit scheduled in our vacation taking. We went lots of other places too. I just always loved Disney. So
Yeah.
then when I was an adult, got married to my husband. He hadn't been to Disney World since he was 5, and his only memory from that trip was that he was not tall enough to go on Space Mountain.
Oh
So at that point, I was
no.
like, well, we gotta go. And so we went there on our first anniversary. We did another big Disney trip, started
Cute.
having kids, had to bring them, started working with touring plans around that time as I started
Yeah.
planning my own trips as an adult, used their data, met the lovely people that run it there, and started working with them since we were fellow data nerds. And the rest is history.
I
Amazing.
love that.
And that's this is why we love this question so much is because we all got hooked, kind of a different way. Some of us were able to go as children. Others of us, speaking for myself, never went until I was an adult. Whether
Yeah,
it's the films or just
Yeah.
cartoons or whatever, there was always something that brought us here. And so it's so fun
yeah,
to hear everybody share that. But we're calling you the Disney Data Queen. And so we want to know, like, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but how did you start on this like data endeavor, like this
right.
exploration of all the data?
Of all the data. So I'm a data professional in my like real job, real
Okay.
work life. That's what I do. I'm a data architect now. I've been in that
Oh,
space for a couple decades now. Love data
okay.
in general. So as I started planning trips with my husband and then with my kids, my very first boss in my career said, "You should really use this website that I use to plan my Disney trips called Touring Plans." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Haven't heard
Okay.
of this." Started using touring plans as a customer, like planning out my days. When do we go to avoid the crowds? What order do I do the attractions in? Thought that was really cool. And so then I was like, I know how to do the data stuff. I wonder if they would give me access to like their actual data that they're using, not just their product. And so I literally just reached out and I was like, hey, I'm a data person for real life. And I would love if I could use your Disney data. And so Len Testa would start sharing Disney data with me just randomly. He's like, here's all the Be Our Guest satisfaction data. And this was like right when Be Our Guest was popular and then not, like right at that tipping point. He's like, can you analyze it for me? Sure. And so I started picking up some of that. And then I was eventually like, could I blog for you? Because I think that would be cool. And so then I got
Yeah.
access to all the datas and started doing that. And so that's really like the data thing comes naturally to me. Clearly, the Disney fandom has been baked in since birth.
Sure.
And so this just has really been the perfect marriage of those two things.
Amazing. This is so like both of us spent time in the nonprofit space doing fundraising, right? And like, what is the secret to fundraising? You find people with money and you ask them for it. That's it.
Yes.
This is like so applicable in life, y'all. Like, if you just are curious about something, just ask the question.
Yeah.
If you're
Right.
like, I want to know this, I'm gonna shoot my shot. And look at you now. Like that is so cool. I love that. I
See,
love this.
who knew that one random email back in like 2014 would
Right?
lead to where we
All
are
of this.
today? It's crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that. So you mentioned touring plans. So for our listeners
Yep.
that might not know what that is, why don't you tell us about touring plans and your involvement with them?
Yeah. So they have a website that has blogs, it has a crowd calendar, so you can look ahead and see any day of the upcoming year and any park on a scale of 1 to 10. How crowded will it be? 10 is like, think New Year's Day. 1 is like the dead of summer now. It used to be just the week after Labor Day. Now it's just all the
Right.
summer because no one wants to be hot, and anywhere in
Yeah.
between. So it helps you figure that out. But they also make these things called touring plans where you feed it all the attractions you want to do in a day. You click a lovely little button that just says optimize. It runs a bunch of fancy math in the background and spits you back out a plan for your day that tells you where you can go in which order to have the lowest weights in line. Then they have an app that you can use in the park on your phone that has all the most up-to-date data because it's synced up with Disney's wait times and getting those every 5 minutes. And you
Amazing.
can get the most up to date information. You can refresh. It knows when things are down. You can time your own waits so that we get actual wait time data back instead of what just Disney posts. They host the post visit survey. So when we're talking about sort of these worst of, that's where we're getting this data from is touring plans users and unofficial guide readers fill out surveys for us after they go to Walt Disney World and they rate everything. And so that's where we get
Amazing.
all of that data from. So I just use all their data. Really, it's all they graciously share all their data with me, and I write for them, and I share the word as much as I can. But just a bunch of really smart people who like math, and then using that math to help people have better Disney trips.
Amazing. Well, and y'all have been doing this for some time too. Like this isn't
Yeah,
something new. And that's
no,
kind of this amazing thing. Like, we've got teenagers now and, everything is AI. You plug it into chat, you plug it in, wherever. But
yeah,
I'm like, you guys like this stuff has been around for decades. It's just we called it
correct.
math
Yeah.
and
We called it
data
math.
analysis and we just
Yes,
worked a little harder and even this like there's a huge difference between what y'all are doing and what AI is today and this
right.
is the magic
Mhm.
behind it.
Exactly. AI can only do so much, right? It doesn't have the real-time information. It doesn't have
Yes,
it takes all of the history of everything. So there's a time and place for AI. Generally,
sure.
Disney planning is not it.
No,
So
not at all.
you use real
Amazing.
humans and real math.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So we want to ask about your book because it is so
Yeah.
great. So you are the author of The Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. How did you get into book writing and your experience with this? And again, you mentioned like next year's book is already at printing. I mean, can you walk
Right.
us through a little bit of the process? Because I'm sure it's a
Isn't
lot.
that wild? It's
Yeah.
bizarre to me. So, Unofficial Guide has been around since I want to say 1986, mid
Oh,
80s,
wow.
let's say.
Okay.
It's a big deal. I
Yeah.
have the very first edition. A friend gifted it to me when I started writing the book.
Whoa.
It's very cool. Back the very
Yeah.
first edition was just Magic Kingdom because Epcot was so new they hadn't written about it yet. And then the
Mm.
second one had Epcot in it, and it was called The Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World and Epcot, which is kind of hilarious now because Epcot is part of Walt Disney World. Anyway,
Right.
so this was another case of I had been working with touring plans, doing the blogging thing, using their
Yeah.
data. I would help Len Testa, who owns Touring Plans, wrote the unofficial guide for a big chunk of that time. Another man, Bob Selinger, started writing the unofficial guide. Then Len took it over from him. And so in 2024, 2023, 2024, when they were starting writing the 2025 edition, Len was like, my kids have aged out. He still goes to Disney. He still runs touring plans, still very much a Disney expert. But he's like, I really
Right.
think someone who has kids that are still that Disney going age should be the one writing the book. And would you be interested? And I was like,
Amazing.
well,
So cool.
again, with all my ample free time, sure, why not? Right. 600 pages a year. That sounds like a fun hobby. But I did. I had never written anything before. ever. So this was a
Wow.
totally new venture. But essentially, for the 2027 guide, right? We're still many, many months away from the 2027 guide. I get my contract for that guide in September of 2025, and I
Okay.
get all of the edible copies of the 2026 book, which is already released at that point, in October of 2025. I get the 2026 book to edit to become
Okay.
2027. Well, this is already getting confusing. So then I have about 3 months to crank that book out. So a third of the book is due January 15th, a third of the book is due
Oh,
February 15th, a third of the book is due March 15th. And then I get about a month. So I just write in giant Word documents. So then the
yeah.
editor goes and lays it all out and makes it look pretty. I get those layouts back over the course of about a month. And so I have about a month to go through everything and make sure it's right and make sure I haven't made any terrible typos and that Disney hasn't changed anything because they love
Right.
doing that. And then it goes to
Yes.
print in early May, usually end of April, early May, to then make it to the August release date for the next year. It is wild. So my
It
summers
is.
are my time off because I don't have to be
Yes.
writing anything, which is a lot of fun. But it's so much fun to do and such a challenge at the same
Yeah.
time. But I I thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, because I mean, again, you're talking about essentially 200 pages a month, and then you
Yes,
get all 600 back to do a
yes,
final like brush up cleanup of it. And this isn't, like when you think of writing books, various sizes, lengths, but like 600
yeah.
pages,
It's a
not just
lot.
A
once,
lot.
not just in a
Yeah.
series over,
No,
a decade. This is every
right.
year.
Every
Becky,
year. And I mean,
you
thankfully, a
rock
lot of it's
star.
updating.
Yeah.
A lot of it's updating. But a lot does change every year. And especially these
Yeah.
next several years, so much is changing in the theme parks. We've got
Yeah.
whole new lands opening. So that's another challenge. Like Tropical Americas is opening in 2027.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I had to write touring plans for that for this book. I had to write, I mean, I had to write an intro to that land that hasn't like it hasn't even barely gone above ground yet. I This book was locked. The 2027 book was locked before the Walt Disney Studios and Hollywood Studios opened, which is the 2026 opening, right? And before Bluey and Bingo and that whole
Oh,
area opened in Animal
Yeah.
Kingdom, which is another 2026 open. So it's a little bit wild to like try to get ahead of all that. And
yeah.
we don't get any special info or anything from Disney. So it's always like our best predictions and guesswork, and then usually
Yeah.
Disney will change something major right after it
Of
goes to
course.
print. So
Of course.
we'll see what it is this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to get into our episode for today. So, Becky, you had mentioned that you had pulled all of this data based off of guest satisfaction surveys from Touring Plans. Is that correct?
That's correct. And they're all, so the data I'm going to be using today is surveys that have been filled out in 2026 so
Cool.
Okay.
far. So the three types of surveys, I mean, it's all one survey, but the three types of data we'll look at today are restaurants, and people can give those a thumbs up or thumbs down when they visit them.
Okay.
And then attractions, which any member of their party can give it a rating 1 to 5. So we'll get ratings from preschoolers and
Interesting.
grandparents and adults and whoever.
Okay.
I pulled overall numbers for us today. That's an
Okay.
average
Yay.
of
I'm so
everyone.
excited.
And then the last one is hotels. And
Yep.
so people
Yes.
can rate their resort on a bunch of different things. I just pulled overall resort rating on a
Okay.
scale of very dissatisfied to very satisfied. That's also a scale of
Nice.
5. And so we'll get
Okay.
all of that information. We've had like tens of thousands of surveys already come in so far this
Awesome.
year. We've got
This
lots
this
of
is
data.
this is what's crazy though, because when we read these one-star reviews, like it does take a lot of time for us to sort through them and comb
Hmm.
through. Because one, we're looking for the more comical,
Yeah.
Sure.
but like you get all types of opinions on this. Like some people are
Oh,
avid
yeah.
travelers, others got drug along for the trip. Some people, like you said, are very young, old. It's some expectations are reasonable, some are not. So this is where, as we were kind of prepping for this, I'm like, no, logically, it would be this. And then I start second guessing because people
Yeah.
are wild. I really
Yeah.
don't
People
know.
are wild. People are wild. And it's very interesting. The cost of experiences also impacts how people rate them. So the most
Yes.
expensive things don't always rate the best because if it's expensive, people expect more, right? There's all
Yeah.
this interplay. It's very fascinating. I do always
Yeah.
like to call out, especially when we're doing worst of lists. Whenever I share worst of lists on Instagram, people are like, "But that's my favorite," and I always
Yes.
have to call out, like, we'll go over the numbers here too, but like even the worst of the worst is at like a 70% satisfaction rating, and
Which
that
is
means
incredible.
7 out of 10 people still like it. You are welcome
Yeah.
to still like it. We're just
Right.
calling out that it is the
Yeah.
lowest rated, and so there
Yes.
are more reliable options. But if it's your
Sure.
favorite, that's also okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So
Yeah.
you hear that, everyone. Put down your
Yeah.
pitchforks, douse your torches, calm
Ugh,
down, okay?
please
Don't take it personal.
don't take
All
it
right. Are
personal.
we ready for this? I'm nervous. I'm like
So
sweating.
nervous.
Okay.
All right, let's start in Animal Kingdom. So let's
Okay.
do the attraction first. So, Jake, what
All
do you
right.
think is the lowest rated attraction?
Well, I went with one, and again, it seems like it's pretty polarizing from what I've gathered. I know that this attraction is no longer with us. It is now extinct, but I had to go dinosaur. That's my guess. It seems like you either love it through the pain or you hate it because it's just crazy.
So I thought about dinosaur, but I went a different route. I said Cali River Rapids
Ooh.
because I feel like not a lot of it doesn't live up to a lot of people's expectations. Like they want to go and get soaked, and sometimes they're like, I barely got wet on this ride.
I think that's fair. That's good.
So
I didn't
that
think of
just
that one. That's a good guess.
was my guess.
All right. I think I think I'm going to be able to do like live feedback about the things that you pick. So we'll see if this keeps
Great.
working. But I will so far. So these are all on a scale of 5, our attractions.
Okay.
Dinosaur actually this year has a 4.3 before it closed. Now, that's a little bit skewed because people that were riding Dinosaur this year before it closed are generally the ones that loved it and were like
Yeah,
trying to get a last ride on
Yeah,
it
trying to
before it
that
save
closed.
makes
it
sense.
before it
So
Yeah.
goes.
so
Dang
that might
it.
just be a factor of like the time frame that we chose.
Yeah.
Cali River Rapids, worse, a 4.1. Still not terrible though. Our actual worst attraction rating so far this year at Animal Kingdom comes in at a 3.77, and it is, drumroll, the Wildlife Express train.
I
Nobody
did
likes that
what?
train,
I
right?
didn't even
Which is
say
fascinating.
that.
It's not the thing once you get off the train. It's the actual train, which is going to be very interesting when we open up Bluey and Bingo here. And anyone who wants to see
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
very popular pups will have to be riding that train. I think
Yeah.
it has
Okay.
a lot to do with like the weight, and this isn't an exciting train ride because it's not. It's a means
Sure.
to get you over
Yeah.
there. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens with that one. There you go.
And that
Okay.
that one does have its moments. I honestly didn't think of that one, but it
Mm-mm.
has its moments where you're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I have to wait. This is the only way over there."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you
yeah,
get there and it's like, "Oh,
I feel like
ooh,
over like on the way there, it's not bad. It's on the way back that
it's
I'm
fine.
like, ooh, this line is not great.
Right.
yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
no one
Oh
wants to wait to
man.
just get back to the main part of the park. Yep.
Right.
Right. Well, and we're off. Over two.
Over, yeah, it's fine. Let's try table service in Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
I went Rainforest Cafe
I also went Rainforest Cafe.
because I feel like people are like, why am I going to Rainforest Cafe in Animal Kingdom?
Yes. And I feel like
Yeah.
as cool as Rainforest Cafe is, I feel like people are very critical of Rainforest Cafe
Yeah.
for right or wrong. But also, this was tough because we low key think that Animal Kingdom might have the best dining options in Walt Disney World. Yeah,
Yeah.
we said what we said. Like, there's
Low
really
key,
good
I do
table
too.
service
Yeah,
Yeah.
spots. Like, it's
absolutely.
great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is the foodie park. So
Yes.
normally, I was actually surprised by the result on this one. Normally,
Okay.
Rainforest Cafe is on the bottom at Animal Kingdom, and it is still very low. It's at 76% so far
Okay.
this
Okay.
year.
Okay.
The one in
We were
Disney
in the
Springs
ballpark.
actually, you were in the ballpark. Disney Springs Rainforest Cafe actually rates even a little bit lower, just FYI.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
so far this year, the worst rated table service restaurant is at 70% in Animal Kingdom, and it's Tiffin's.
Oh,
We
Oh,
what?
Okay, we talked about Tiffin's, and I was like, no, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
that price.
mean,
Every one
Yes.
of the so comments are optional when you fill out the survey. Every comment that we got that was related to a thumbs down score was about the cost and how they didn't
Mm,
think it
wow.
was worth what they were
yeah.
charging for what they got. So,
Okay.
And this is something that I think Walt Disney World does a whole lot more of than Disneyland, let's say. Like there are a lot of options for a lot of different price ranges when it comes to eating. I think we've kind of been more of the mindset like if we're already here and paying this much to be here, we're probably not going to spend an hour plus sitting down at a very fancy restaurant. However,
right.
you're catering to a lot of different
Yeah.
people from a lot of different walks of life. And
Yeah.
yeah, like you mentioned in the opening, like when you're paying a lot for something,
Yep.
people tend to be very critical.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. Go
Wow.
if
Yeah.
you have an annual pass, hit it this summer when it's 40% off because then it's like right at the right price point. It's great.
What?
Okay. Good
Cool.
Yeah,
hack. Good
that's
hack.
the
I
hack.
love that. I love that. So now that leaves quick service. Mm,
I said Pizza Fari
Pizza Faris.
because I'm like, does anybody go to Animal Kingdom to have that food?
Yeah,
Probably
Right?
not.
and pizza can be so like hit and miss. It's volatile for sure.
It is.
I had to go Restaurantosaurus, and I worry that I might have made another error that people were trying to cling onto it desperately before it goes, but I don't know. It's always been okay for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Restaurantosaurus. It might have filtered out because it closed so
It
early. So
could be, yeah.
I don't think I have results for Restaurantosaurus.
Okay. We'll
So
just
I won't be
pretend it
able
was the
to.
lowest. It's fine.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
we can just yeah, we'll make it up. I'll go pull surveys from last year and let you know. But this time, yeah, you got one right. It is Pizza Safari.
Yeah.
It's
Way to
it's
go.
it is sitting at 87%, which is actually impressively high for a
That's
Yeah.
so
worst rated
high.
quick service in a park. So this proves your point of Animal Kingdom really does generally have very
Yeah.
high quality
Yeah.
dining.
Yeah.
Even their worst is not too
Yeah.
shabby.
You
So
hear that, everybody who came after us before when we were like ranking the parks on food? That's right. This is data driven.
Right?
data driven. We can
Love
Yeah.
prove
this.
that.
We will now accept your apologies.
Oh my gosh. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's go to Epcot. Let's go to Epcot.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's start with attraction.
This one, I think I struggled more with Epcot than any other park. Because again, this is one of those parks that one, people don't really come for the attractions. I think Disney's trying to make it more appealing with some of the attraction and the additions they've had. But
Hmm.
um, there was one that I thought would probably win, but I couldn't help myself. I have to go after my boy Figment. It's got to be Journey into Imagination with the whole skunk experience
My gosh.
and Nigel turning into the moon. It is a fever trip, and that's my answer. I'm sticking with it.
There is that skunk, man.
So I went Mission Space. I was like, I think that's the one that everybody does not like.
I thought about Mission Space because it is intense, but oh man, see, oh, I don't know.
It's very intense. Okay, we'll start with your results again. You came much closer to the bottom this time, so well done. Mission
Okay.
Space is pretty close down there. It's at 3.84. So
Okay.
instead of you all were in the 4.1s and
Yeah.
3s
Yeah,
last time, you're now in the
yeah.
3.8s.
Okay.
So
We're
yeah,
getting better.
we are good.
Better.
Yeah. And Figment comes in right below that at 3.83. So, but
Wow.
they're both
Okay.
not quite the lowest rated. The very lowest rated at Epcot is
It's not living with the
Image.
land, is
No,
it?
no, no, no,
Okay,
no.
good.
It's
Like we still have standards in
ImageWorks.
this country, thankfully.
Yeah,
Image
so
works.
at
ImageWorks.
3.4, yeah, so it comes in at 3.43. It's the little play area after you get out of Figment that people
Yeah.
just really don't think is worth any time. So at Epcot, these are the things that drag scores at Epcot down are these
Yeah.
play areas. People don't rate
Yeah,
them really highly. I
Got it.
as someone with young kids, I find them to be really valuable because
Yeah.
it
sure.
means my big kid and my spouse can go ride the big major headliners,
Hmm.
and but my little kid isn't bored. She's going and like
Right.
she loves these things. So this is another one of my little disclaimers of like, yeah, does ImageWorks need an overhaul? Probably. But even still, it has its audience. So
It does.
there you
Well, and
go.
it's amazing that I guess I never really stopped to think about it, but Epcot does have multiple play areas like that after big
Yes. Yeah,
rides and
so
things. That's really cool.
the second lowest rated attraction at Epcot at 3.49 is Project Tomorrow, which is the same
Ah,
exit space after Spaceship Earth.
Yep.
So
Okay.
there's a
okay.
theme. There's a
There.
theme.
Okay.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Yep.
All right. All
Okay.
right.
All right. Let's go to table service. And I think I struggled with this one the most.
Right?
You
It's
didn't.
all so good.
Yeah. I did not. I
Maybe.
actually had one that came to mind right away. And this is one, again, from our research doing one-star reviews. We actually found a lot of one-star reviews for Coral Reef Restaurant.
You did, yeah.
So I'm going off of just what we have seen. We've never eaten there yet, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with Coral Reef.
I thought about that one. I also thought about Garden Grill, but I went out on a limb. And it's again a place that we have never eaten, but I've only ever heard like negative things about it. I went in Italy and I said Via Napoli.
What?
Ah,
Because we've never eaten there, but every review or every person that we've talked to that has eaten there is like, it's just not worth it. Like, it's not the greatest food.
Where was I for these conversations? Like I'm all about Italian food. I don't care. Even bad
yeah.
Italian is better than no Italian for me. I'm sorry.
I love it. You need to talk to Bethany Benton because she also hates Via Napoli. She is one of those
Okay.
people.
Oh,
So
is
she would
that
tell you,
what you did? You tapped into Bethany?
No,
that might
How
have been
dare
no.
you?
dare you?
She would know.
I
She would know. That's
she would know. I would call out Garden Grill is one of my favorites personally, and it is one of the
Okay.
highest rated restaurants in
Oh,
Epcot, and it is rated at
nice.
glad I did not go
96%.
with that one.
Yeah, 96%.
Good
Via
for you
Napoli,
people, because it's a gem.
it is like you see and live in with it's a good character experience.
It
Like
is.
you get to stay at your table, the characters
Yeah.
come to you. It's a lot calmer than most character dining. Anyway,
Yeah.
Via Napoli, not calm and quiet, quite the opposite, but 93%. Can't really go wrong with pizza and pasta. So that's above average for
My
what it's
people.
worth.
Okay.
Okay,
That's okay.
Coral Reef. I'm also a Coral Reef defender, but it does score pretty low. It is not
Okay.
the lowest, but it does score
Okay.
Okay.
pretty low. Coral Reef is at 85% so
Okay.
far.
Okay. Well, still though,
Yeah.
decent
Still,
score.
decent, below average, certainly.
Okay.
The lowest rated table service restaurant, and this one hurt me, but I
Oh
think I can
no.
explain why. I know, right? Is Spice Road Table in Morocco at
Oh,
79%. 79%.
okay.
I think it's a little too adventurous for,
Okay.
the clientele. And
Yeah.
it's if you don't know what the menu is before you go, it is a bunch of small
Yeah.
plates. It's different. So it just doesn't cater to the normal
Yeah.
Disney tourist. And that's what most of the comments are about. It's just sort of this like, I was expecting a meal
Oh.
by the water.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that one hurts my heart. I'll
That
be
one
honest.
does. I think you're spot on, Becky, in that like that okay, that hurts me. I'm
I know.
not happy about that one. But again, like know before you go, people. If
No,
that's
We just
not
gotta
your
go. We
jam,
gotta go
don't
yeah.
up. Yeah, upvote Spice Road Table. Let's get it off the bottom. Come
Yeah. All right.
come on, people. We gotta save Spice Road Table. You know the mission now. Let's go.
Right. Okay. Quick service.
Quick service.
Be next minute still.
Okay, and there's again a lot of options here. This is one I kept going back and forth and back and forth, and finally I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna go right down the middle. This is my long shot pick. I'm gonna go Connections Eatery because I feel like there was a lot of hype around it before it opened. There's nothing wrong with it, but in the like Epcot with the World Showcase, that's kind of the most tame, boring option of all. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I went Sunshine Seasons
Ooh.
because, again, there's not a single person that I know that actually goes there. Like, who says I'm going to go to Sunshine Seasons to get lunch?
fair.
What?
Fair.
Do not.
Sometimes if I'm over there for Soarin'
you're
or
over
living with the
there,
land,
Exactly. You don't go out of your way to
there's
go
nothing
there.
else
Yeah.
there. It's a convenient spot. I am grateful for it. You hear that, people? I am grateful
Okay.
for it.
he's
Okay.
grateful for it. All right. Well, you're both like in the whole, I have all my restaurants ordered just top to bottom by score, table service and bars and lounges and quick service. Connections Eatery and Sunshine Seasons are literally right next to each other, so they could not have closer scores. They're both at
Okay.
89%.
Oh,
So
wow.
Okay.
that's below average. Our
Okay.
average actually sits like 91 to 92%. It's higher
Okay.
for quick
Wow.
service than it is for table service.
Okay.
But the
Amazing.
worst rated one in Epcot's at 84%. So we're slightly lower than Animal Kingdom's worst. And this one surprised me too. It's Regal Eagle.
Oh,
And right?
We're both like, what? We love Regal Eagle.
I know. But I think it is that you talked about how you pick connections because it's just sort of like, why would you go there when you have all the World Showcase? Regal Eagle suffers a little bit from the same dynamic of like, I had all these options. And usually it seems like it's usually a parent filling it out that like regrets that they were forced to eat here by the rest of their family. And it's like that when there were so many options, why did I end up at Regal Eagle? So
That is so sad.
it is.
Sam Eagle is ready to go to war. I
It's
mean,
America 250, people. Eat the barbecue.
seriously,
Barbecue.
seriously, have some pride for our nation. Where's the patriotism? I know it is not the best barbecue in the world, but we live in Utah, where our barbecue is about as
Oh,
mid as it gets. And
Yeah.
you know what?
yeah.
It's pretty good, okay? So back off, Regal Eagle.
Well,
It's
okay,
got
but
the Muppets for
patriotism,
crying out loud.
it's, I mean, kind of, yeah. I will call out the highest rated attraction so far this year in Epcot is Voices of Liberty. It comes in higher than literally anything else in the park. So we've got some patriotism in us somewhere. It's just not for the food.
Just not our
That's
food.
not our food.
Our food sucks, but
Not
God
the
bless
food.
America. Wow.
I'm noticing we're not great at this game.
No, we're not.
It's hard. It's hard.
We're not great at this. Like, I'm second guessing every choice.
I'm not gonna lie. I did have a passing fleeting thought that was like, I could see people being very critical of our own nation's cuisine. And then I waved goodbye because I'm like, no, it's America 250. There's no way.
Okay. Should we
There's a
try to
way.
go to
Oh, no.
Hollywood Studios?
I believe in you. I believe in you for Hollywood Studios. I think you can do this one.
I don't know. Okay.
Famous
Let's
last
start. Let's start with attraction again.
Oh, okay. So I did have a thought, and if it ends up being Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I'm gonna kick myself because I know that people in Walt Disney World tend to get very fired up when attractions specifically are taken away. Disneyland side of the country, they're more used to change and updates and stuff.
Yeah.
But Disney World, like they get sentimental and they get defensive.
So they're just mad about the great movie ride.
They are. Everyone hates that the Great Movie Ride is gone, even though Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is cute as a button and it's great.
I could see that.
So I almost went there, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna go Alien Swirling Saucers because one, I could see people not feeling the best after. Maybe you had too much Woody's Lunchbox. I don't know. But also, that is a long line for a very short ride
I agree. And
with screaming children.
that was my logic. So I also went Alien Swirling Saucers. I feel like that is the one ride that we skip almost every time, unfortunately. It's not the top of our priority list and not it's not our favorite.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so I've taken both my kids on one-on-one trips to Disney. We did it 2 summers ago. We're
Oh,
doing it
very
again this
fun.
summer. My
Yeah.
littler kid, she's 7 now, so the last time she was 5 when we did this. They are in charge. On its one-on-one trip, they're in charge. We get to do
I
whatever they
love
want.
that.
We started a day in Epcot. We wore our Living with the Land shirts. We had breakfast at
Yes.
Garden Grill. We did Behind the Seeds, and she said, I want to go ride Alien Swirling Saucers. So we literally took the Skyliner
Oh,
all the way to Hollywood Studios, rode
just
Alien
to ride
Swirling
it.
Saucers, and Skylinered back to Epcot for the rest of our day.
That is
So
incredible.
there are those people, apparently. I'm not one of them.
Yes.
Thankfully for both of you, many people are not that person because Alien Swirling Saucers is the lowest rated attraction in
Yeah!
Hollywood Studios at 4.09, which is much higher than any of the other attractions we're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about today.
Wow.
So Hollywood Studios doesn't have any stinkers. The kids still love it, but it
That's
makes it the lowest.
amazing.
Runaway Railway is near the top, though. It's actually at 4.64. So
As
we're
it
far,
should. It's a great ride.
we're far enough away from Great Movie Ride that a lot of families
Okay.
that are
Okay.
filling out surveys these days
That's
not top
I
of
would have
mind.
kicked myself, but I'm like, you know what? People grow
You
up.
did
It's a
it.
great ride. We did it. We
You
got
got
one.
one.
We got one.
oh my god. All right.
Keep it up.
Right? Okay. So, I don't know. Let's go.
From the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. Here we are.
Let's go table service.
Oh, table service. This one is tough again, but I'm gonna go sci-fi diner or dine-in restaurant because we were recommended to go there the first time that we went to Hollywood
Hmm.
Studios. I'm so glad we did. It was really, really cool. However, I was like, well, that's it. It's cool because you get to eat in a car, but
I
I
just
just don't know that it was our favorite.
no,
It didn't live up to the hype.
and the food wasn't that great, I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
sci-fi dine-in restaurant for me.
So I almost went sci-fi,
Yeah.
but then I went 50s Primetime Cafe.
Ooh, that's
Just
a good
because of the
choice.
atmosphere, I think it's not for everybody. Like again, if you don't research it and you don't know what to expect, then you
Yeah.
go there and you're like, "Oh, this is not what I wanted." Like even if you just look at the menu, that's great, but maybe the atmosphere is not what you wanted.
Hmm.
Yep. I think table service dining in Hollywood studios is just rough and very hit or
Yes.
miss depending on the year and the menu
Yep.
and the service. I will say this is now my favorite one we've done because one of you picked the worst and one of you picked the best.
Oh, crap.
Ready? Go. So coming in at 97% satisfaction this year, and the top rated table service restaurant in Hollywood studios this year is 50's Primetime
Oh my
Cafe.
gosh.
Some
I'm
people are
horrible at
loving
this. I'm
loving the
so
service.
bad.
And sci-fi does come in last place at
Okay.
85%.
All
So not
right.
even that big of a spread, really.
No, it's
But
really
yeah,
No.
not.
yeah.
All
I'm
So
right.
yeah,
so
but
proud of
there you
myself right now. Consider this my retirement from podcasting, and
go.
I'm just gonna go out on
Yeah.
top. Just-
Got a lot more to go,
oh,
buddy.
what? Oh, darn it.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Let's keep it going.
right. All right. Quick service.
Oh, quick service, and this is again another tough one. Like you said, Becky, like food in Hollywood studios is kind of just a mixed
Yeah.
bag. I had to go Catalina Eddie's, and this is why pizza is either feast or famine. So I had to go pizza. I don't know. That's really my only reasoning behind it. And I just feel like over there it's kind of a hot area of the park anyway. And I don't know. I'm shot in the dark.
I had a similar thought. I went Rosie's All American
Oh,
because I feel like people don't go over there a lot to eat the food. And again, it's not the best food in the park. I mean, I probably should have picked Catalina Eddie's. I'm sure that's the
you
right
say that.
one.
I don't
You
know.
you just always second guess yourself.
I do
Rose
all the
so
time.
Rosie's not great, 88%. So
Okay.
yeah, a clear skip. But coming in at bottom place in Hollywood Studios, you actually got perfect at Hollywood Studios. It is Catalina Eddie's at 77% satisfaction this
Wow.
year.
Look
Real
at
steep. That's
you.
That's it.
one of
I'm
the
done.
lowest rated, it's the lowest rated quick service in any of the four parks. So
Wow.
Wow.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
yikes. Don't do
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
All
Did
right.
you
did
knocked
we?
Hollywood Studios
Yeah, you
out.
were 3 for 3.
Mm,
Three
Look
for
mm,
at
three.
mm,
you.
mm.
See?
Look at you.
You know, I
Mm,
think I've eaten at Catalina Eddie's like one time, but it wasn't that bad. Like I liked it. Okay, I'm sorry.
right?
It was decent.
It's fine.
But
But yeah.
yeah.
Eh,
Oh wow.
All right, let's go one more park. We've got Magic Kingdom.
I'm
I'm
excited.
exhausted. I've given everything I have,
You're like,
coach.
I'm done.
Yeah, we
Attraction.
should have ended on that one.
Right? We should have.
Okay, so this one, if I could say one guess that I was the most confident in, it doesn't mean I'm right. But I think it's this one. I think it's Tomorrowland Speedway. It's the fumes, it's the noise, it's the handling of the cars. I know it's nostalgic and it's special for kids to be able to drive, but we all hate it. You know I'm right. You know I'm right, people.
I do think you're right. I do think that could be it. I went Barnstormer though.
Why Barnstormer?
I don't know. It was just a hunch. Honestly, I don't know.
It's Barnstormer's remarkable because people don't realize like the queue is all in the sun. So you're just
Yes.
there
Yeah.
baking. It loads really slow. And then you literally get 21 seconds of actual at speed roller coaster. The rest of it is either going up the hill or coming in for the landing.
Oh,
That's
It's
true.
just
that's
so sad.
rough.
So
That's a
actually, we're
good
both
guess.
coming in near the bottom here. So I can pull overall rankings. So the Barnstormer is the 15th worst attraction in Walt Disney World as a whole, and it comes in
Okay.
at th 3.8. So it is
Ooh.
like
So
it's
Okay.
down
it's
there.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
bad.
We had already talked about the second and third worst. Those were both at Epcot. That was ImageWorks and Project Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrowland Speedway is actually the fourth worst in all of
Okay.
Walt Disney World
Okay.
at 3.64.
Ooh.
Our
Okay.
worst in Magic Kingdom and all of Walt Disney World. Neither of you guessed. It's at 3.15. Let's see if we can get there. This is an attraction that many people don't even really know exists. It's more of like, oh, this is a thing you don't have to wait in line for, but it literally ruins parents' days when their kids discover it
Wait.
and play here.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh
say
my goodness.
it's gotta be. Is it? No.
Are kids getting wet here?
Yeah,
No. Yeah? Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Is it in Tomorrowland?
No,
Okay.
it's
Because I
in
know there's
it's
like the
out.
spinning ball.
Oh yeah, it's not the spin ball. It's the Casey Jr. Splash and Soak station right outside of Dumbo
Okay, I
and the
thought
Pete
about
Silly
that.
Yeah.
Sideshow. And so literally all the comments we get are like, I couldn't keep my kid away and now they're soaked and I have nothing to change them into for the rest of like parents just loathe this thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
there, there you go. Worst in Walt
I
Disney World.
This is really funny. So we always start our day at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And then rarely do we get back into that corner of the
Yeah, we
park
really don't.
until
Sure.
night.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of avoid the screaming and,
Yeah.
the disdain. It makes
Yes.
sense. But man, the
Head there on a
lowest in
hot
all of like
afternoon.
Disney World. Yeah,
Yeah, on a hot afternoon, kids are just loving it, and you just see the parents
sure.
Yeah.
Who
scowling
can
all
blame
around the
them?
perimeter.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I agree with
Okay.
Tomorrowland Speedway. Let's get rid of it. Use that
Yeah.
Yep.
space for something better.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. We don't need that.
Table service?
Table service.
How about you go first this time?
So similar to what we were talking about before,
Yeah.
my guess is based on just price point. So I went Be Our Guest. I feel like for the
Mhm.
price that you're paying, it's just not worth it.
Well, and I almost went there as well because I really wanted to pick Cinderella's Royal Table, but I thought the princesses would save it because even though you're paying an exorbitant amount, when you see your little girl or your son interacting with the princesses, I think your hearts are softened. I went Tony's Town Square, and I don't know. I just feel like that's one that is not that great.
Hmm.
I don't know. I know some people love it, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ugh.
Here we go. I'm going to start with Be Our Guest, and then I have lots of comments about all the others. Be Our Guest
Great.
has perennially been the worst rated restaurant in Magic Kingdom for like each of the past 5 years. It's not this
Wow.
year. It's
Of course.
actually up at 89%, which is still below average. But I do know they've been trying to make tweaks to the menu because it hasn't.
Hmm.
Be Our Guest does more business than any other restaurant at Walt Disney World from a revenue
Really?
perspective.
Oh, wow.
And so the fact that it's not selling out and that there are lots of open reservations for it always is a really big sort of red alarm
Hmm.
bell for Disney. So I know they're
That's
focused on that, and maybe
incredible.
that is making so interesting factoid. Be Our Guest does an average of $300,000 a day in business. It's an insane amount of money.
Gosh.
So if people stop going there, that's really bad for Disney. So I think they're trying
Yeah.
these.
Wow.
Cinderella's Royal Table is actually slightly lower this year. It's at 86%. So the price
Ooh.
point does really hurt it there, but the
Yeah.
princesses do save it. Tony's Town Square, the top rated table service in Magic Kingdom so far
Dang
this
it.
year. Why? I
See,
don't
I
know.
lost it. It's gone.
I I would not have called that one myself. So
No.
I don't know, which means we're sort of running out. Usually it's Liberty Tree. Liberty Tree's slightly lower because their prices did go up and that is impacting
Ooh.
Okay.
things. Lowest rated so far this year is Crystal Palace of all
Oh,
What?
places.
wow.
What?
I will say I dined at Crystal Palace. That was in late November though, but so it
Yeah.
wouldn't have been a 2026 survey. Food quality was not good. It was not good.
Oh
And
no.
we only got two out of the four characters to our table. Pooh no longer goes to tables. He just stands at the front, which is fine. But
Yep.
we missed Piglet entirely. And we were there right
Oh
at the breakfast to
boo.
lunch switchover, and we were spending a lot of time there to try to cover both. Anyway, so I can get it.
Yeah.
It's another
Ugh.
expensive one, and you want that good character
Hmm.
interaction. And I guess it's just
Hmm.
missing this year. a little bit.
That's too
Interesting.
bad because we were there
We were
in
the
November
beginning of November.
I'll see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For
um
breakfast.
for
Yeah.
breakfast
Yeah,
though. But again,
breakfast is the way
there's
to go if you
Yes.
go.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we just posted a reel on Instagram today that if you could eat at one restaurant for free the rest of your life, what would you pick? And one of our friends, Justin, he chose Ohana, and we're like, oh yeah, we love it there. We only eat there for breakfast. He's like, no, you go for dinner. I'm like, no, you go for breakfast. It's just kind of interesting, but yeah,
That
I
is
don't
Yeah.
funny.
know.
But yeah, if you do
Hmm.
a meal at Crystal Palace, do breakfast. They have the churro
Yeah,
waffles. It's cheaper. That's
Okay.
the way to
my
go.
girl.
It is most of the thumbs downs are from lunch and dinner, not
Okay.
breakfast. So,
Interesting. Okay,
yep.
All
that
right.
leaves quick service.
Quick service. I
I already know. You don't even have to tell me it.
I went with my main man who I hate. I hate Pinocchio with a firing, burning passion. So I went Pinocchio Village House because I could not help myself. And also, I mean, the view is nice. Like when we took our
Sure.
daughter for the first time, she loved to look over It's a Small World.
Sure.
Loved it. But again, the food, it's just not that great.
I think you're letting your bias and your
I
hate
totally am.
get to you.
I
You
hate that
can't pick with
puppet.
your heart. You have to focus on logic. I went Cosmic Rays,
That's what I probably should have gone
and
with.
I went there because I think as we were doing again 1-star reviews, we saw a lot of polarizing thoughts on it, but
Yeah.
it tends to get really crowded. I think that people may be a little upset that the toppings bar is no longer there. And yeah, I don't know. I think food there can, I mean, it's if you just want a hamburger in a quick spot, like it's not bad, but I
Yeah.
think people could be critical and it's
Yeah.
just okay.
Yeah, I agree. My favorite story from Cosmic Rays, my husband and I ate there once. I have to eat everywhere occasionally
Of
so I can
course.
try them all. So I even go to the bad places. And we both ordered different specialty burgers.
Okay.
And we didn't realize until about halfway through our meal that we were eating the wrong specialty burgers that we hadn't ordered because they were so bland we couldn't even tell
Oh
that we had the
no.
wrong ones. It was just bad.
Ew.
Anyway, that being said, neither one of you picked the worst rated, but in this case, the heart did better than the logic. So the cosmic rays came in at 85%. Still not great. That is still one of our lowest scores that would have lost at Animal Kingdom. It would have
Right?
almost lost at Epcot. Pinocchio Village House is very, very close to the bottom, enough that it could statistically be a tie. It's at
Look at
82%. Yeah,
that smug face.
we can claim this one. But the lowest rated is is it a real quick service place? It's the lunching pad. So the lunching pad is right
Oh,
under
Yeah.
Astra Orbiter. It
Yep.
has rubber pretzels, and
Yep.
the only good thing there is if you're really hot in Tomorrowland, they have slushes that
Oh
can
yeah.
save your
yeah.
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's the real one you
Okay.
want to avoid. It's not a real
You,
meal place, so but
Yeah.
it is a quick service restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay.
the lowest
you know
rated.
why I didn't even think of that place is because we just don't go there, Simba.
No,
Like
Yeah.
it's
no one
not
should.
good.
No.
No,
Right.
avoid it. Go to
Oh.
Cosmic Rays instead, but don't actually do that either. Just don't eat in Tomorrowland. That's
Oh,
the
Right.
goodness gracious. Wow.
Okay.
that's the rule.
So to
We did
round
it.
out the parks,
Oh yeah.
which of the four parks do you think is the lowest rated park?
See, this is what kills me because especially going through all of this now,
I know, I'm second guessing myself.
I am, but I'm gonna go with the one that has the shortest hours of operation and has what feels like the fewest amount of attractions. I think I've got to go with Animal Kingdom, even though I love it. I think there's a lot of people, if you're like, hey, I've got a 3-day Walt Disney World park ticket, like I'm skipping Animal Kingdom. So,
I originally said Hollywood Studios, and I'm second guessing myself because of Epcot and the playgrounds. I'm like, ooh, does that bring like the average
people love
down?
Epcot. No,
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Hollywood Studios.
Okay. We're gonna go top to bottom on
Or
this one.
Magic
okay,
Kingdom.
Um, top rated park at 4 point. And so this is like an amalgamation of the way people
sure.
rate things at that park.
Okay.
Yep.
Hollywood Studios comes in at the top at 4.51. It has a lot of just attractions and things that people
Yeah.
love. So,
Yep.
no,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yep.
That's
Um,
okay.
Second place is Animal Kingdom at
Okay.
4.48. So you're right. It is the least attended park. So very like
Okay.
relatively few
Yeah.
people go there,
Yeah.
but the people that do go there and therefore give it ratings rate most of the things really highly. And the things that weren't rating highly have closed. Triceratops
Mm.
spin, it's tough to
Yeah.
be a bug was really low rated.
Yep.
Like that park is sort of in the middle of this transformation to be more
Right.
high
Yeah.
rated, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third place goes to Magic Kingdom at
Oh,
4.36. And you caught on as we were doing our attraction ratings. Epcot comes in last at 4.30. This gap,
Interesting.
I know
it's not
nothing.
that much of a, right? It's not that much of a gap, 4.5 to 4.3. Everyone loves all the parks. It's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But it used to be a lot bigger. Epcot used to be a lot lower, actually.
Really?
And yeah, so the top rated attractions in Epcot are things, well, Voices of Liberty, but we won't talk about that. Things like Cosmic Rewind, very
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
Frozen
Oh,
Ever
yeah.
After,
Yep.
incredibly popular. So Disney recognized this and is also working to get these scores up
Mm.
at
Sure.
Epcot. Yeah.
Well, and I think we live in a world, especially when you talk about Universal and their, high intensity attractions, but also everything they did with Epic Universe. Like people, consumers, like they
Yeah.
want big ticket attractions. They want,
Yes.
blow my mind stuff, and Epcot has definitely leaned into that. So I can see why maybe it's making up ground and closing that gap.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a little bit
Wow.
sad because I'm a like wander, enjoy the ambiance person, and clearly the
Yeah.
trends say that's not what's going to happen, I don't think, in the future at Disney.
Yeah, unfortunately. No, but I mean
Uh-uh.
that is hard. We are the same way. So all that to say, that takes us now, last but not least, to the resorts. We have a goal to stay at every Walt Disney World Resort hotel. We have been trying that just
Yeah.
last November. We did a challenge of can we visit every Walt Disney World Resort hotel in one day using only Disney transportation. We did
Oh,
it. It was a grind, but it
It
was
was
amazing.
no. It was fun.
But this one's going to be interesting for me.
Yeah, so we broke it down. We broke it down by value, moderate, and deluxe.
Deluxe is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
again,
Can we
because you're
split
too,
deluxe and DVC? I can do it either way.
please.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
let's do it.
let's do
Yeah,
that.
let's do it.
Okay. Value Resort, Ashley.
I said All-Star Sports.
All-Star Sports?
Yeah.
I went All-Star Movies. So we
Okay.
both think it's an All-Star. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that like
I
kind of the
mean,
decor at sports might carry it forward.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
would
know.
anyone be, yeah, like, of course it's an all-star. This math, the three all-stars all fight for the bottom spot all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
So it goes back and forth wildly. I actually, because I was interested in this specifically, I pulled the last 12 months and then just 2026. So all the data we've been
Okay.
talking about has been just
Yeah.
2026.
Yeah.
Do it, and most of the answers don't change when I did that, which is why
Okay.
I did it to see if it was
Okay.
pretty stable.
I
For all
love that.
stars, for the value, it did change. So when I did the last 12 months, it was All Star Sports on the bottom. When I did
Okay.
just 2026, it was All Star Movies at the bottom.
Wow. Okay.
At 4.2 is what All Star Movies gets so far this year. All Star
Interesting.
Music and All Star Sports are both at 4.35 this year. Not that
Okay.
much better. Um, but they're all very
Interesting.
similar all the time.
So, just very, very quickly, when we did our challenge, it was very interesting seeing those cast member teams and how
Hmm.
they welcomed you and the different things, even from the moment you get in and you check in. And,
Yeah.
I can see where those types of things matter. And, these all-star resorts, they play a very critical role
Yeah.
in families staying on property. And so we're grateful for them. But again, unfortunately, you kind of get what you pay for, and those are lower level of amenities and other
Yes. I
included
will
things. So,
say there is some hacking to do here a little bit. I don't know if it's hacking, but doing your research, your experience at All Stars are going to be heavily impacted by how many teams of high schoolers are staying there while you
oh
are
yeah,
staying
For
there.
sure.
And actually, it usually don't take this as the Bible. Late in the year, most of those teams are staying at All Star Sports for their competitions. Early in the
okay,
year, a lot of them are staying at movies. So I'm thinking that this is the reason that this has shifted. It's
Okay.
always
interesting.
worth asking
Okay.
if you're thinking about booking an all-star resort, my recommendation is either calling that resort directly or having your travel agent call them and asking for your dates. Are there any competition teams staying there? They should be able to tell you that. Usually they're willing to tell you
Gotcha.
that. And then you can sort of zig somewhere else if the answer is yes.
Right. Amazing. Okay. Okay.
All
Not
right.
bad. Not
All right.
bad.
Okay.
So now moderate resorts.
Moderate. Which I really enjoy all of the moderate resorts. So
I
it
do
was
too.
hard. It was hard to pick one, but one of them has to rate the lowest. So I said Caribbean
You
Beach.
know, I also said Caribbean Beach, and I went that one because it's so
It's
big.
so widespread. Although you do have the Skyliner. It's
We
just,
do.
it is such a huge resort.
And I will say,
Yep.
like, one of our favorite resorts to stay at is, French Quarter,
Hmm.
and Port Orleans is just great in
Yeah, I
general.
love Riverside. We love Coronado.
Yeah.
It just,
I think it just had to be Caribbean Beach only because it was the odd one out for us.
yeah.
And
By default. Yeah.
yeah.
So it is Caribbean Beach.
Okay.
And it's the highest rated worst out of
Okay.
any of our
Okay.
categories.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
4.32 so
Okay.
far this year, which really isn't so bad. But it is a combination of a couple things. It is the spread outedness.
Hmm.
Um, that's one part of it. Yes, it has the Skyliner, but you can be really far from the Skyliner and
Sure.
still be at this resort. And it's also their refurbishments because it is such a large resort with so many buildings. Their refurbishments tend to stall out before they get to all the rooms. So there are a lot of
Ah,
buildings at Caribbean Beach that haven't been refurbished in a long time, and it's very hit or miss the room quality
Okay.
that you'll get there.
interesting.
I love this resort personally for its access to Riviera dining and the Skyliner.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But you have to be very careful with your room requests that you ask for
Okay.
and get in the
Okay.
right spot to make it worth it.
Good to know because we will be staying there this September.
We will.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we
Yeah,
will let you
literally,
know.
like if you just call the resort or put in your check-in thing, or you can
Yeah.
even chat online or in the app and say, I would like to be near the Skyliner. That puts you ahead of like 90% of people who don't put anything.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then you're set,
Yeah, that's really
hopefully.
good to know. We will definitely try that and report back.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so if we're gonna break it down deluxe, then what are our options for deluxe versus DVC? Do we
Because,
So
remember?
yeah, for
the
example, like Animal Kingdom Lodge does both.
both. And I
Yep.
have the ratings separated for both, so it'll show
Okay.
up in both spots. So the only
Gotcha.
ones that aren't deluxe, that are DVC, are things like Riviera, Old Key West, Saratoga Springs.
Okay.
Are those the
Yeah. Yeah,
only
I
ones?
yeah.
think,
And then the other ones you can sort of separate out into their deluxe
Okay.
yep.
and
Okay.
DVC components.
Okay.
So if we're, I don't know, if we're going deluxe, I'm gonna say, I don't know.
I threw you
What
a
is your,
curveball with the split.
what
Yeah.
is,
That's this one is tough to try and think. I wonder, maybe let's do this. Like we'll just guess anything, whether it's DVC or
Sure.
deluxe. Like
okay.
let's throw it out and
And
then
I'll
from
tell you
there we'll
both
break out.
worsts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. So for this one, I went Yacht Club and I really don't know why. I thought about going Grand Floridian. I really did, just because you
It's,
expect a lot.
yeah.
And but it's so close to Magic Kingdom that I really think anything on the monorail loop, like it's hard to see one of those end up in the very bottom. So yeah, I went Yacht Club.
So I wanted to go contemporary because I feel like not a lot of people love that one, but think I think I'm gonna go Saratoga Springs because I feel
Oh,
like there's not
interesting.
there's not a lot of people that talk about Saratoga. Like everybody talks
Mhm.
about the contemporary, everybody talks about the Grand Floridian, but nobody really talks about Saratoga Springs. So I don't know.
Yep.
I guess that's my guess. I don't
That's
know.
very reasonable. So I will call out, you called out Grand Flow. Grand Flow is the top rated deluxe resort so far this year, at
Wow. Okay.
4.92. So people are finding it worth it. Now, Grand Flow did
Okay,
just come
great.
through a big refurb. They have the
Yes.
brand new lobby. Like it's
Yeah.
looking fresh and
She's
clean. And
she's
maybe
she's looking
that's
real nice. Yeah. She's
She's
Yeah.
looking
beautiful.
nice. She's all done up. It's great. Um, So the top-rated DVC for whatever it's worth is Fort
Yeah.
Wilderness Cabins so far.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
wow.
Okay.
So that's
I
where
mean,
to stay.
goals.
Right.
Yeah.
Goals.
That would be
They're
amazing.
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So you all actually called out the worst DVC and deluxe resorts. So Yacht Club is the worst rated deluxe resort this year at 4.22. I will say this is a
Wow.
little bit because there's been a lot of construction going on at Yacht Club on the
Mm,
outside
Okay.
only. It's just the
Yeah.
facades, but it does
Right.
impact
for
your
sure.
view and your
Yep.
experience. So there is a little bit of that, and I will give Yacht Club that credit. I actually prefer Yacht Club to Beach Club personally because
Oh,
I think it's
Okay.
quieter. You get
Mm,
all the
Yeah.
families go to Beach Club because that's the thing, and Yacht Club's just a
Ah,
little bit more refined and set back, but it is also further
sure.
away when you're walking.
Yeah.
So Yacht Club and Saratoga Springs is the lowest rated DVC resort this year at 4.15. So
okay.
that
Oh,
is
interesting.
lower than all the
Okay.
Yeah.
all-stars.
Oh my
Oh,
But
wow.
goodness.
yeah, so a
I'm
couple
so glad
things
I didn't
going.
go contemporary. Almost did. I almost the last minute changed my mind.
Yeah, a couple of things going against Saratoga Springs, especially right now. So Disney notices this and is trying to fix it. What they aren't going to be able to fix is transportation. Transportation
Sure.
Yeah.
pretty much stinks at
Yeah.
Saratoga
Mm-hmm.
Springs, unless you want to spend a lot of time in Disney Springs, which go
Right.
Yeah.
do. The dining is all really dated. Now they are doing active
Ah.
refurbishments of a
Mm,
couple of the restaurants. And the rooms themselves haven't seen a lot of love in
Mm.
quite some
got it.
time. It's not the it's the lowest rated Disney owned resort for theming because it's horses vaguely is the theme, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just it's again, I've stayed there. It's fine, especially if you have your
Sure.
own car, and
Mm,
especially if you want to spend a lot of evenings eating at Disney Springs. But
Yeah.
yeah.
otherwise, if you're going to the parks, hit up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's great perspective though. And again, I don't think we really thought through this or knew, but like when we were planning out our
Hmm.
resort hopping challenge, like that one was problematic for us.
That one was the
It's
worst.
tricky. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That one and Old Key West were the worst
Yep.
to
They
get
Yes.
took a
to.
lot of time
Yep.
to get to because there is only one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Wow.
Anyway,
Okay, look at
we did
us.
it.
Look at you did so
You
much better than
Well,
I did.
you
studios
both
saved me.
ended on a high note though. Like you
That's
did
true.
really
Yes,
well at the
yes,
That's
resorts.
true.
absolutely.
That's true.
So,
Wow, Becky, this was so much fun though, and I feel like we
agree.
could talk to you for hours about all of this, but I think what I would like to highlight before we close is just the incredible work that y'all do for families who want to have a great
Yeah.
experience because we recognize like
Yep.
now more than ever the dollar just doesn't go as far.
Yeah.
And for
Right.
families, you want to have that perfect experience.
Hmm.
And thankfully for us, when we took our kids for the first time, it arguably will never be a better vacation
Yeah.
than what we had. And I want that for
Yep.
everyone. And so I
Yeah.
love that what you guys are doing is giving families the best opportunity to stack the deck
Yeah.
in your favor and just have a wonderful, magical experience at Walt Disney World. So thank you sincerely for what you do. It is awesome.
I appreciate that. That's why I do what I do. So hearing that music to my ears.
Yeah, well, and we leaned into it. We really tried to pick the best time and do the
Hmm.
best we could, and it made a huge difference. So from us,
Love that.
sincerely,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
But before we let you go, can you just let everyone know where to find you if they want to follow you, and again, where we can find your book?
Yeah. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at raising mini me's, mini like the mouse, all lowercase one word. Um, Otherwise, if you just Google touring plans and my name, Becky Gandillan, you'll find my blog and as well as all the other touring plan blogs that go out every week. And the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World 2027 edition will be out in August. You can find the 2026 edition out now. You can get it on Amazon, your favorite local bookstore. That's what I like recommending. It's
Yeah,
pretty much, or get it from your local library. Bunches of libraries
Oh
carry it,
yeah.
so
awesome.
save yourself even more money and just rent it
Very
for a little
cool.
bit. Yeah,
I love
Yeah,
that.
so good.
Yeah.
Well, it was such a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for
same.
for being here with us.
Yeah.
We love you so much. This is a
Of
treat for us.
course.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you for having me. I've had a blast.
Good.
That's it for this week's
Yeah.
episode. Don't forget to rate our show on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to support our show on Patreon. Check out our t-shirt shop, Shop Threads of Imagination, and until next wonderful Wednesday, TTFN.